A jeans commercial just triggered the biggest cultural meltdown of 2025.
My jeans are blue.
This is no longer about fashion, it's about how Sydney Sweeney, an American Eagle, seemingly triggered a war. But look at this for a second.
Jeans are fundamental in determining the characteristics of an individual.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring. My genes are blue.
Similar concepts. One became legendary, and the other became a political statement.
My genes are blue.
Turned American Eagle into ground zero for accusations of white supremacy. While marketers have always sexualized women's bodies to sell products, it's hard to believe that the writers accidentally wrote lines that hint at eugenics. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. This disaster also made Sydney Sweeney unstoppable. The playbook that backfired. In July 2025, American Eagle outfitters thought they had struck marketing gold. They'd landed Sydney Sweeney. Sydney is the biggest get in the history of American Eagle, according to their chief marketing officer. The campaign concept seemed brilliant. Sydney Sweeney has great genes. A cheeky pun playing on genes versus genes. The marketing team was practically giddy, promising clever, even provocative language that would push buttons. They had their blueprint ready. 45 years earlier, a teenage Brooke Shields had made Calvin Klein legendary with her scandalous confession.
You want to know what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing.
That ad shocked 1980 audiences so thoroughly that TV networks banned it outright. It also made Brooke Shields a household name overnight and cemented Calvin Klein's reputation for provocative marketing. Marketing analyst Alan Adamson confirmed what was obvious. It's the same playbook, a very hot model saying provocative things shot in an interesting way. American Eagle's videos featured Sweeney in retro-styled clips, lounging on couches, working on vintage cars, striking provocative poses in slouchy jeans. In the most talked about spot, Sweeney delivers a sultry mini lecture.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color.
Then she purrs.
My genes are blue.
As the camera zooms in on her crystal blue eyes. Another clip finds her bent over a Ford Mustang engine, wiping her hands on her rear in fitted jeans, while the camera pointedly captures the gesture. The tagline, "Sydney Sweeney has great genes," appeared in graffiti style. If this breakdown of advertising disasters helps, hit subscribe, because this gets so much worse. But here's what they didn't consider. 1980 isn't 2025. Why 2025 was the worst possible year. The ads dropped into what can only be described as a cultural minefield. We're talking about a year when diversity programs were being systematically dismantled by federal policy. A time when phrases like "great replacement" had entered mainstream political discourse. An era when everything gets scrutinized for coded messages and dog whistles. Here's the brutal context American Eagle missed. The phrase "good genes" carries massive historical baggage. Its language directly tied to eugenics ideology. The eugenics movement of the early 20th century used exactly this terminology when promoting superior genetic traits and justifying the Nazi pursuit of an Aryan master race. So when viewers heard Sydney Sweeney has great genes paired with visuals of a blonde, blue-eyed woman, alarm bells went off immediately. The emphasis on Sweeney's blue eyes wasn't accidental. Blue eyes and blonde hair are the classic markers of the Nazi propagandized Aryan ideal. One Vox writer captured the discomfort perfectly. Are we supposed to want pants or Aryan features? As the Washington Post noted, when this is the imagery being promoted by our government, a pun about genes hits differently. Cultural commentators were quick to condemn what they saw as non-inclusive at best, and overtly promoting white supremacy and Nazi propaganda at worst. But the political timing was just the first problem. The saturation problem nobody saw coming. Here's what made this controversy hit even harder. Sydney Sweeney was already everywhere. In recent years, she seemed to endorse just about everything. Luxury fashion campaigns for Miu Miu and Armani. Global ambassador deals with Korean skincare line Laneige. A wildly popular swimwear line with Frankie's bikinis that sold out almost immediately. Partnerships with Guess, Cotton On, Ford Workwear, even Bywater. Then came the truly bizarre collaborations. In May 2025, she partnered with men's grooming brand Dr. Squatch to release Sydney's Bathwater Bliss, a limited edition soap bar infused with water from Sydney Sweeney's actual bathtub. Yes, you heard that right. She literally sold her bathwater. I pitched it. She laughed, explaining that when so many fans kept asking for her bathwater, she figured why not turn it into a product. Then came summer 2025, a Baskin-Robbins partnership launching the Sweet on Sydney ice cream menu. Reddit users were getting exhausted. Management probably thinks she has an expiration date and wants to cash in while they can. I'm tired of celebrity brands and collabs in general, but Rainbow Sherbet is like the last thing I go to Baskin-Robbins for. By the time the American Eagle campaign dropped, critics were already exhausted by her. This wasn't just about one problematic ad anymore. It was about brand saturation meeting cultural sensitivity. But why was she saying yes to everything? The answer will surprise you. The financial desperation hidden behind the glamour. If this deep dive into celebrity business strategy is hitting, subscribe so you don't miss our next case study. In a 2022 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Sydney Sweeney dropped a bombshell that explained everything.
They don't pay actors like they used to, and with streamers, you no longer get residuals.
She broke down the brutal economics.
I have to give 5% to my lawyer, 10% to my agents, 3% or something like that to my business manager, and that's more than my mortgage.
The Emmy-nominated in-demand actress made a confession that stunned Hollywood.
If I wanted to take a 6-month break, I don't have income to cover that. I don't have someone supporting me. I don't have anyone I can call for help.
Her bottom line was stark.
If I just acted, I wouldn't be able to afford my life in LA. I take deals because I have to.
This revelation reframed everything. Unlike older actors who collect residual checks from reruns, streaming-era performers receive no residuals once a season has aired. Los Angeles real estate is notoriously expensive. Sweeney bought her first modest house in 2022 and noted she couldn't afford big renovations for privacy. "I couldn't believe I was even able to buy a house. I want to be able to stay there," she told The Hollywood Reporter. So every endorsement deal, the bathwater soap, the ice cream flavors, the jeans campaign, wasn't just about building a brand. It was about survival. Each luxury fashion house partnership likely brings 6 or 7 figures. Collaborations like swimwear lines can include profit sharing that becomes steady revenue if products sell well. And commercial shoots might be just a couple days of work for a hefty paycheck compared to months of grueling 12-hour filming days. The streaming era had effectively killed the actor middle class, so now we understand why she said yes, but that created an even bigger problem.
The perfect storm converges.
When the Great Jeans ads hit social media in mid-July, they collided with the most toxic possible cultural moment. TikTok creator Jess's takedown went viral, calling the copy diabolical in this political climate. Her video garnered nearly 3 million views, amplifying outrage to a massive audience. Comments flooded American Eagle's Instagram about the ad being entirely tone-deaf, Nazi propaganda, and celebrating whiteness. Others stitched the ad with historical footage to illustrate parallels with Nazi imagery. Rapper Doja Cat created a viral TikTok parody, exaggerating a backwards accent to mock Sweeney's lines about jeans. Her spoof reached over 16 million views, proving even fellow celebrities found the campaign laughable. Northwestern University anthropologist Shalini Shankar criticized the ads for
exacerbating a limited concept of beauty,
arguing American Eagle
wants to rebrand itself for a particular kind of white, privileged American.
But then something unexpected happened.
The political weaponization machine.
Right-wing media voices seized on the backlash as ammunition against woke cancel culture. Former Fox News host Megyn Kelly tweeted with evident glee,
"I love how the leftist meltdown over the Sydney Sweeney ad has only resulted in a beautiful, white blonde girl with blue eyes getting 1,000 times the exposure for her good genes."
The official White House communications director dismissed the backlash as
cancel culture run amok.
Then came the bombshell. Donald Trump himself weighed in, calling Sweeney's ad the hottest after learning about her possible GOP voter registration.
If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay.
Conservative supporters cheered online.
"Woke advertising is dead. Sydney Sweeney killed it,"
one user triumphantly posted. As Vox noted, the ad felt especially trollish because it hit both accusations that swirl around Sweeney.
She's too sexualized, and she's promoting some sort of right-wing agenda.
Everything in 2025 becomes political ammunition, and Sweeney had just handed both sides loaded weapons. But while everyone was fighting, something unexpected was happening to the numbers.
The paradox of profitable outrage.
Throughout the entire firestorm, Sydney Sweeney herself stayed completely silent. No statement, no tweet, no apology. She simply posted Instagram stories about her manicure and showed up at movie premieres smiling. Her representatives declined all media requests for comment. This strategic silence was brilliant. While critics and supporters battled online, American Eagle's stock price told a different story. The company's shares surged 16 to 24% in the days following the campaign launch. That translated to roughly $350 to $500 million in added market value. Meme stock traders jokingly started referring to Sweeney as their new meme queen. PR expert Eric Schiffer predicted exactly what would happen.
"She's not buckling to the mob, and she'll be even bigger because of this."
Another PR professional told Business Insider that Sweeney's brand thrives on controversy, and each flare-up will only boost her appeal. Here's the twisted logic of 2025 fame. Bad attention equals good business. The campaign managed to make Sweeney trend on both Teen Vogue and Fox News, a bizarre crossover appeal that's incredibly rare in our fragmented media landscape. landscape. Someone who can generate heat across the political spectrum is, frankly, marketing gold. American Eagle doubled down, keeping the ads running and issuing statements standing by Sweeney. By early August, the company's CEO was touting the campaign's charitable aspect.
100% of proceeds from the special Sydney Sweeney gene were going to domestic violence hotlines.
Other brands she works with, Laneige, Ford, stayed completely silent, indicating they didn't view this as radioactive enough to distance themselves. None of her sponsors dropped her. Her Instagram and TikTok follower counts actually grew during the controversy. And that brings us to the real question everyone's afraid to ask.
The reputation reckoning.
Did this controversy actually destroy Sydney Sweeney's reputation, or did it make her bulletproof? The evidence suggests the latter. She wasn't accused of saying or doing anything hateful personally. She was simply the face of an allegedly problematic marketing concept. There were no calls from major industry figures to blacklist her, and no indication that fans of her shows were abandoning her. In fact, she demonstrated something invaluable in 2025, the ability to weather a social media storm without it derailing her career. Shortly after the incident, she was back on red carpets promoting her upcoming film, confidently interacting with press. Screaming fans still lined up to see her, completely unfazed by the Twitter tempest. The controversy revealed something crucial about modern celebrity management. Strategic silence can be more powerful than immediate damage control. In an era of instant apology, videos and notes app screenshots, Sweeney's decision to stay quiet projected confidence and indifference. Her message was clear: this too shall pass. American Eagle's response was equally telling. Rather than pulling the campaign, they issued a clarifying statement.
The campaign is, and always was, about the genes.
The brand clearly determined the publicity was net positive. Offensive or not, the ads were generating massive profit. Alas, capitalism trumps cancellation. Marketing experts offered mixed opinions, but those who understood controversy marketing saw the genius.
If you try to follow all the rules, you'll make lots of people happy, but you'll fail. The rocket won't take off.
One strategist observed. In this case, the rocket certainly took off. American Eagle hadn't been this talked about in years. Have you ever thought about American Eagle this much in your life? The answer, of course, is no.
What this reveals about modern celebrity survival.
The Great Genes controversy exposed the impossible tightrope modern celebrities must walk. Sydney Sweeney isn't just an actress anymore. She's a multi-dimensional brand that includes being a woman who's fearless, rebellious, unabashedly sexy, and comfortable with a certain level of controversy. Her willingness to lean into her bombshell image, whether by joking about her breasts on Saturday Night Live or literally bottling her bathwater, is a form of owning her narrative. She's not being forced. She knows what she's getting into. She's actively choosing these deals and having fun with them. She pitched the bathwater soap idea herself. This isn't desperation or naivety, it's calculated brand building. The proof is in her continued success. She's not abandoning acting for influencing, she's supplementing it. Recent moves like co-producing her hit rom-com Anyone But You and taking on a Marvel role show she's still focused on acting credibility. The endorsement money gives her the financial freedom to take on passion projects and start her own productions. Each brand deal is also a chance to reach different market segments: fashionistas, beauty gurus, teens, at the mall, sports fans. It's the oldest Hollywood trick, turning celebrity into a brand and that brand back into bigger celebrity. But here's what really separates winners from losers in this game:
the strategic silence that changed everything.
While other celebrities might have issued immediate apologies or explanations, Sweeney chose a different path: complete radio silence. This wasn't accident, it was strategy. By not engaging, she avoided adding fuel to the fire or saying something that could be misconstrued. Her silence projected confidence, perhaps even indifference. And it worked. The noise is slowly dying down, but her name recognition only grew. But here's the biggest revelation of all: the new rules of celebrity controversy management. This entire saga reveals the new economics of fame in 2025. Controversy isn't career death, it's career fuel. Sweeney demonstrated that she can dominate a news cycle and emerge with her head held high. The key insight here being that she showed she can weather storms without apologizing or hiding. In an attention economy, that's pure currency. The incident will probably become a case study in advertising circles, a cautionary tale of how good genes can go bad. But for Sweeney personally, it's likely just another chapter in a fascinating story of fame in the 2020s. If she continues delivering strong performances, and she has several major projects in development, including a Marvel role and high-profile Barbarella remake, this will probably be remembered as a footnote. Actors like Brad Pitt, Charlize Theron, and Leonardo DiCaprio have all done questionable commercials that raised eyebrows, but those hardly define them now. But this case study teaches us something bigger about the modern celebrity machine. The Great Genes fiasco wasn't really about Sydney Sweeney at all. It was about collision of nostalgia marketing and political polarization. American Eagle tried to resurrect a 1980s playbook in a 2025 cultural climate. And maybe they knew exactly what they were doing and still went ahead with it. So did a 45-year-old Calvin Klein strategy destroy Sydney Sweeney's reputation? Quite the opposite. It revealed that she has something invaluable in 2025: controversy immunity. She can break the internet, generate hundreds of millions in value, and walk away unscathed. Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Irrelevant. Great genes? Debatable. What do you think? Should Sydney, or any actor for that matter, be more responsible and accountable with the kind of advertisements and movies they pick? Or is everything fair in this game? Let me know in the comments. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Please do consider subscribing to the channel if you found value in this. Oh, and YouTube thinks you will like this video. Do watch it before you leave.